Wait, you're going to tell him right now?
At your grandmother Shiva?
It's what Bubby Rose would have wanted.
Cyrus finally comes out to Jonah, but how does Jonah react? Let's break down ANDI MACK Season 3, Episode 11 and find out just what happened. Rise and shine on, you lovely people. Lisa here, and it is time for another ANDI MACK recap, and it's a pretty big episode for the ANDI MACK world. Not only do we get to learn a little bit more about the Jewish culture, but Cyrus finally comes out to Jonah. So let's not waste any time and just talk about it all. So this episode revolves around Shiva for Cyrus's Bubby Rose, aka his grandmother, and Cyrus invites all his friends over to partake in this tradition with him. Now when Cyrus is sitting with Andy and Buffy sharing memories about his Bubby, he realizes she didn't know everything about him.
I wish I'd told her when I had the chance. I was too afraid.
It is your choice who you tell and when, but you shouldn't be afraid to do it.
So now Cyrus wonders how he'll ever tell Jonah.
You two made it easy. How do I tell Jonah?
You just tell him. Anytime you want.
Well, Cyrus decides now is as good a time as any to tell Jonah, but he searches the house and can't find Jonah anywhere until he hears heavy breathing from another room and finds Jonah in the middle of a pretty bad panic attack. Cyrus helps Jonah through this panic attack and of course tells a signature Cyrus joke to kind of lighten the mood.
I know it feels like you're gonna die, but you won't. But if you did, we're all set up for Shiva.
We then have a sweet moment of Jonah telling Cyrus he never knew how much he needed a friend like Cyrus, and then when Jonah asks Cyrus why he came looking for him in the first place, Cyrus says he can't remember, so instead they go to get food. Now at the buffet table, Andy and Buffy ask Cyrus how it went. They think that he's told Jonah, but Cyrus says it just wasn't the right time to tell Jonah. And Buffy reassures Cyrus that he'll know when that time is right. And well, it seems like that time's gonna come a lot later, right? But it ends up coming sooner, because when Jonah asks for help with food, Cyrus just goes ahead and does this.
That's gefilte fish, skip that, and I'm gay. Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay.
And now Cyrus has officially come out to Buffy, Andy, and Jonah. But why is this time different? Well, for one, it must be scary to tell someone of the same sex for the first time that you're gay because you don't know how they're going to react to this. Are they going to be like, oh, then do you like me, get away from me kind of thing? Or will they embrace it? Plus, Jonah was Cyrus's first crush. Now we do hear Cyrus tell the girls that he's probably never going to tell Jonah that he was his crush at one point, but still I imagine personally for Cyrus having to tell your first crush that you're gay has to be pretty tough. Also, this is the first time that we've even heard Cyrus actually say the words, I'm gay. The other two times he came out, he basically just said that he liked Jonah and it was implied and the girls knew what it meant. But hearing the words, I'm gay, it's a very big first for Disney Channel. Now after this big moment, when Cyrus is sitting with Andy and Buffy talking again, TJ shows up.
You came. Of course I came. And I brought a challah. You shouldn't have.
So yeah, at this point we have Cyrus coming out to 3 of his friends, and I imagine this season's probably halfway through or over. So by the end, will we have Cyrus actually coming out to TJ? Will he come out to his family or even publicly? I think it would be interesting to see that because we don't know how his family exactly would react. We did see a point in this episode when his Aunt Ruthie asked Andy if she was Cyrus's girlfriend, and when Andy said no, you know, Aunt Ruthie was like, well, when is that boy ever gonna get a girlfriend already? Aunt Ruthie, he's actually had one before. Remember Iris? Maybe that wasn't serious enough for the whole entire family to know. But it would be interesting to see Cyrus come out to his family and that whole reaction. They are obviously very religious in the Jewish faith. How would they handle that situation? But more importantly, I know fans have been waiting out this slow burn just to see Cyrus tell Jonah and TJ. So at least we got one of those done. And with the way that they've spread out Cyrus's storyline, I feel like we're gonna have to wait kind of a while, maybe even the season finale at this point, for anything else to happen with Cyrus's, you know, crush storyline. But hopefully not, right? Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. But I do like that Jonah reacted in a positive way. It doesn't seem like it's gonna change their friendship at all, because obviously in real life, this whole situation does not always happen that way. But as a friendship moment, I just loved Cyrus helping Jonah with this panic attack. And I know that there's still a ton of Cyrus shippers out there, but I'm actually just here for a solid friendship between these two. I think Jonah obviously served an important part in Cyrus's life for, Cyrus realizing that he liked Jonah and he liked boys, but I feel like that shouldn't be anything more than, a friendship at this point. I know some of you don't think that, but, I don't know. It's important for that solid guy-guy friendship, I think, to be there and a support for Cyrus as he moves forward. But to each their own. We can all want different ships to happen, right? As far as other things that went on in this episode, we had Buffy getting texts all throughout the day but being super secretive and refusing to tell Andy, which Andy was not a fan of. Finally, at the end of the episode though, Buffy says she's been talking to Marty because she missed him. And while she does say she missed him as a friend, but yeah, I'm not buying the whole just as a friend thing.
It's Marty.
What?
Who's Marty?
Marty from the party?
Well, that clears everything up.
We also have Bowie starting Kugelgate at the Shiva when he brings the Kugel without raisins. And we have Andy and Cece disagreeing over centerpieces for the wedding because Andy wants to make them out of Bex's old CDs. But Cece doesn't want glued together pieces of junk on the table at the wedding until Cece finds out that Bex actually likes that idea of Andy making the centerpieces. So Cece kind of has to realize why this was important for Andy and also change her mind and realize that she can't control every aspect of this wedding because honestly this isn't her wedding. So they resolve that issue, and more importantly, after sitting Shiva, Andy has come to appreciate the fact that she still has her grandma with her more. And well, yeah, that basically wraps up the main events of this week's episode of Andy Mack. So while the setting of the episode, Shiva, may have been a somewhat somber occasion, the episode was thankfully anything but somber. There is one thing I feel like we could have had or should have had, and that's a scene with Cyrus and Jonah talking a little bit more after Cyrus came out. But I guess you gotta kind of take what you can get at this point. I feel like we got a lot more when Cyrus came out with, Andy and Buffy about their feelings and whatever. And yeah, we had Jonah say, okay, cool. But it still would have been nice to really see them sit down and talk and Cyrus be like, hey, is this weird for you? And seeing Jonah's point of view and if he really was just, okay, cool. Just to see that again. That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, now I am even more interested to see how Cyrus will come out to TJ if he does do it. Because, I mean, come on guys, at this point I feel like they're setting it up for TJ to like Cyrus back, right? I mean, he showed up to Shiva with challah bread, and that means he actually took the time to research things about Cyrus's faith and culture. Granted, so did Bowie, but still, right? I don't know, I'm just thinking about this way too long, so let's go ahead and watch the promo for the next episode.
Oh,
Hi, Bowie.
Hi, Bowie.
this is a surprise? So, what are you doing here?
Oh, hell no. Miranda and her daughter are back. No, I do not need them back, and they better not be trying to sabotage this Bex and Bowie wedding. If they're back for any reason, it better be to make peace and really apologize, right?
Oh, are these wedding invitations?
Yeah.
This is my favorite part of the job. Getting to be part of this important moment when someone's life is going to change forever.
Yeah, looks like the realization about how life-changing a wedding could be is just now maybe hitting Bex, so is she gonna get cold feet? I sure hope not. Also, looks like more girl drama for Jonah, as always, kind of.
See, they're a couple. They're sharing a pretzel.
She's still not convinced.
How could you not be?
Unless she knows something we don't.
Okay, so what does Andy know that Buffy and Cyrus don't? Like, do Buffy and Cyrus not know Jonah's dating Libby? I feel like they've all kind of been in the same place at that basketball game the previous episode. Also, haven't we established that Amber and Jonah are just friends now? Are they trying to play on that there could still be feelings there? I mean, people can share a pretzel without it having to be romantic, right? I feel like kids, they're always reading into these situations. But I am curious now, and it seems like Andy's holding on to a secret, but what is it? I don't know, but that's it for my rambling for this week. So what did you think about this week's episode of Andy Mack? Are you happy that Cyrus came out to Jonah? Do you feel like anything was missing from the episode? And what do you want to see happen next with Cyrus? Do you want to see him to come out to TJ? And how do you think TJ would react in that way? And how do you think his family, Cyrus's family, would react? Also, why do you think Buffy didn't want to tell Andy who she was texting at first? Why is she keeping this whole Marty thing a secret? Sound off in the comments down below, and then don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos right over here. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And as always, I'm Lisa. Thanks for hanging out with me and chatting all things Andy Mack. See you next time.